Okay, hello everybody. Welcome back to the channel today. I'm Kevin, and today we're back to our first World War topic. So, our topic today is about going up the line. So, in our last topic, we already talked about the peaceful movement created by the development of the weapons and also about the strategy and style of defense and attacking between two lines of border. Yeah, between two sides and two groups. So both sides also scared of what the enemies have and also being proud of what they have in the defenders. So they both don't want to attack and just trying to focus on defending. But from this topic, we both know that history need to keep going. And the Germany, which is the first side, start to change the strategy of attacking. They try to dig more trench and start to go through the no man land. They try to go as close at the no man land as possible and try to take as much disadvantage in the no man lands when the British want to come. So they dig trenches and they try to make their team become a territory protecting the place that give them advantage. So when the British want to attack or the British want to attack, so they just stop where they don't get enough this advantage as the German. So German has taken the first place or the first step on the advantage to start a new area of a new era of new strategic of attacking. So the German, when they come through the no man lands, they going passes through the battle zone, passes alongside the road through ruined village and going into the forest where there is very more trees and many trees so that they could hide from being shot easily. And at this long, twisting ditches were the address for all the supplies and fresh troops that fed into the trench network, which means that they using the path deepest. Yeah, they're using their path which is deepest and narrowed, and they enter a communication trench, which means that using their method to communicate with each others. So the communication trench will send the information from the front line trench for the support trench so that they could take more troops to go into let's say put into the new trenches that they dig up, and also to replace and make giving supplies for the troops who is in the front trench. So after that, after the month of sailing, some communication trenches were so torn and featureless that arriving soldiers need to guide to lead them, which means that they are so far away from the front line trenches or the supportive trenches. So the soldiers from the information trench will need to be guided so that they could go to the place. And it was easy to get lost when all you could see was the night sky and no light in the mud walls. So fortunate and disorientated, the men reaches the reserve trenches first. There were usually one or two of these running in parallel to the front line, and they were used as work areas and fall back position if there is an unexpected attack from the British to German. So people from German could fall back, could move back and go into into those workplace, or you could say into those trenches. So the soldiers even though go into the place that no one usually do, but their final destination was the fire trench bordering no man's land, which means that is the trenches, which is there is a lot of troops are and fighting at the no man's land. They're fighting with each others. So here they were greeted by an overwhelming stench of unburied corpse, or you could say body, and gun smoke and open latrines, which means let's say World War toilet, you could say like that. So after that event, soldiers quickly learned to keep their ears open, keep their guard up, and move their head lower because they figure out that their allies or the enemies, their allies was killed by a head wound, which means they're being shot in the head. So they keep their head loud at all times so that it was rare for the, let's say it was safer to be killed by a shot on the head. So the reason of the problem that the soldiers usually being hit by a bullet on their head because they dig into trenches, right? And those trenches not having the depth of a body, which means that they could stand in it, but their head will go up the place so that they could shoot. Let's say this is the trench, right? And this is the height of the soldiers, so that their head will be a little bit higher than the trenches, so that they could move their head out and shoot. Then they go back and they let's say hide under the trenches. But sometimes when the soldiers moving like this, moving around the court, right? Moving around the trenches. So some people from afar could see their head like this, and they will shoot it. So they died very easy and unexpectedly. So after this event, German and also British has learned to keep their head low so that they could hide under the trenches instead of going straight like this. And this is the trenches, right? So they keep their head down like this. Yeah, they keep their head down like this and move just as high as the trenches so that they could avoid from getting shot. Okay, so they were ordered ever present hazard, rain and snow, which is the difficult of the, let's say, the fight and the constant convenience. So also there's plagues of vermin and disease. Thousands of soldiers died of exposure or lost their feet to a fungal infection known as trench foot. So these things happen to both sides, and also the body lice made the men itch and give them fever, so that the soldiers and troops from both sides cannot keep fighting, and the supportive trenches need to recycle a lot. And huge rats gorge themselves on the dead. And one German officer described flies that is so thick on the ground, and they look like a cushion of blue velvet. So soldiers had to manage with all of this as best as they could, as they live in the fire change as a quick, and then both sides supportive change will going to make a recycle. They send new troops to the fire line, and they move the troops which is already in the fire trench back to the supportive trench so that they could take a break for 1 or 2 weeks, and then they make the recycle again and change people so that they could always keep the trenches safe, but also avoid the soldiers from dying easily. And when let's say when there is people who die on the war, but just by, let's say, just by velvet, just by virus, just by vermin, and just by disease, and also by being hit in the head, which means they didn't make any damage back to the enemies who was attacked them. So the general of those times called it a wastage. Okay, so this is all that I want to say with you guys today, and I want to talk about a fun fact that throughout this topic you might want to know. So people tend to think of trenches as being straight and just one line, but in fact they were made up of short straight sections called traverse, linked together at right angles, and then your troops use those angles like a crossway so that they could go from trenches to trenches, and they could bring the information or supplies over the place. So this means that soldiers could dodge around a corner to shelter from bullets and shrapnel from shells, whatever angle they were coming from. Piles of sandbags from a parapet along the front of trenches to give cover from sniper. More sandbags at the back formed a paradox to protect the men from shells exploding behind them and shot fired from the reserve trenches. Okay, so this is the simple explanation that I read on some book, and I used those words so that I could talk back to you guys. And also this is the way that trenches were made in the First World War. Okay, so that's the end of the fun fact and also the end of my video today. Thank you for listening, and yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. And now I think it's time for say bye and see ya.